Hey everybody, what's up? David here from the Spa Shop. Just gonna do a quick video here for you about the Serenity series hot tubs, as well as this particular swim spa model in front of me, which is called the 12-foot FFP. So if you have either a 12-foot FFP or any Serenity hot tub, this video will help you understand how to operate this unit. So let's get to it. I'm actually gonna go in the hot tub, so you won't see a lot of me today. Whoa. Beautiful. All right, here we are inside this FFP. Oh, it's so much nicer. As you can see, the weather's a little chilly. Okay, so here we have the Hydropool Serenity Topside control. And this particular control has 4 buttons, as you can see. Jet 1, Jet 2, these operate your pumps. Illume, which is lights, and a temperature up and down. This may or may not vary depending on if your hot tub has 1 or 2 pumps. I'm not 100% sure, but if it does vary, instead of having a Jet 1, Jet 2, you'll have a Jet 1, you'll have a light button, and you'll have temp up and down, but one will be for up and one will be for down. As obvious as it is, Jet 1 and 2 is going to turn on the jets, so let's go ahead and do that. And by pressing Jet 1 the first time, the therapy jets have now come on low speed. Okay, and by pressing the button a second time, the jets come on a high speed. As I can see, one of my jets is not working, so also if you see any jets that aren't working, you just rotate that jet, in this case counterclockwise to open it or clockwise to close it. Okay, so if you see any jets on or off, there you go. You can turn all the jets off if you want. We don't really recommend turning 100% of them off, but that would make other jets that are still on stronger. By pressing Jet 2, we turn on, in the hot tubs, that would turn on another cluster of jets, which would mean that by pressing Jet 1, you would only have half the hot tub on, basically. Jet number 2 would turn on the other half. You could have both operating at the same time, that's no problem. If you have the FFP, then by pressing Jet 2, you then turn on the swim jets, as you can see. I'm going to turn off the jets. Now, don't be discouraged if the jets don't actually turn off, in which case mine did not. There's another reason why your jets would operate independently, and that is when the hot tub is either in a filtration cycle or it needs to heat. In this case, my hot tub is most likely heating because it is cold outside, and I do have the lid off, and you can actually just see the steam evaporating, which is definitely a great source of heat loss. But you know, you're in the hot tub enjoying it, so hey, enjoy the hot tub. That's what you bought it for. You know what? This isn't costing a whole lot of money for the, you know, maybe 30-40 minutes I might be in it right now. And definitely in the summertime, this obviously isn't happening. I'm not getting all this heat loss, so let's just get back to it. The light button. So by pressing the light button, I'm going to focus on the light down there if you can see it. Yep, there we go, it's on. By pressing it one time, it goes into a rotation of colors. Blue, green, red, blue, green, red. If I press the light button again, whatever color it's displaying, and we're going to try and time it for purple, and I've done this many times, so when it shows red next time, I'm going to pause it. Okay, now. Okay, next time I turn on the light, it'll maintain that color, which is purple. So it won't turn that color off now, it'll just stay on that color for good. Keep in mind, I guess if you're trying to lock it into a color, when you have it off, you must turn it back on within 5 seconds, or else the whole sequence resets back to the beginning, which is random. If I turn the light off and on, after this point, it'll just stay on solid colors. Blue, off on green, off on red. And the last color, or the beginning, is random again. And I do have the option at this point to turn it off. Maybe I caught orange. Kinda. Anyhow, that's how you operate the light, okay? And that's all the functionality that does there. Every light that you have will be sequenced. In the case of the FFP, you should also have the waterfalls, which light up, and the 2 main swim jets, and the other light right there. Right now my hot tub is giving me information. It's at 101 degrees, and the time is 12:39 a.m., which is actually incorrect. It should be p.m. So we have to go in there and change that, which we're going to do anyway, so good opportunity. By pressing the temperature up and down button, you get an indicator which tells you that you're trying to change the temperature right now. So we're in a temp mode. Now it's gone off, but we'll have to turn it back on. And at this point, when I press the button, it's going to go up. and I'm not letting go. It's like a rheostat on a fan. I let go now and I press again while the temperature is being displayed, and it goes down. Again, let go, go up, let go, go down. Okay, as long as that temperature icon's on the screen, you'll be able to do that. Whenever it shuts off, you won't be able to. You'll have to turn it back on again. Now I've just told my hot tub to heat because I told it to go to 103, so now I've got the heater icon blinking at me. That is telling me right now that the hot tub is heating, and as you saw, the jet's turned off. Okay. The hot tub has another function, which is basically turning off the hot tub for accessing the filter compartment. The filter compartment looks like this. In the case of a Serenity hot tub, you're going to have a filter lid, or in the new 2020, 2021 Serenities, you're going to have the big grate, which I'll have to do a different video for because this one doesn't have it. But for anybody that sees this particular filter grate, I can definitely show you how to operate that right now. For the new 2021s, and the 2020s, you can look at yours. It looks like a, the front of a Bentley. I'm not sure how else to describe it. It's a big dome, and it comes off. There's two little clips that you just relieve a little bit of tension off the top, and the whole thing comes forward, and the filter compartment is quite obvious. There's a big double stacked filter there with a big front grill. You pull that filter, there's nothing holding it down. You just pull it out, nothing holding it down. Okay, but in the case of every other filter, it looks like this, or in the case of the Serenity FFP, what we can do is put the hot tub into standby mode, and you do that by holding down jet 1 for about 5 seconds. It says off. Actually, I mean the light's still on, but there we go. So this is great if I want to access my filter for a couple of reasons. You want to get in here to clean out any hair, lint, debris that's in the basket, which is underneath this mechanism here, and also below the basket there's an actual cartridge filter, which I can remove to show. I don't have a garden hose equipped to show you how to spray it out, but basically all you're going to want to do with the cartridge filter is take it out, spray it down, and put it back in. Try to get into all the pleats, try to use some pressure. Power washers are probably too strong unless they're really weak, but basically even your thumb over a garden hose is a great way to just rinse out the pleats. Get all the debris, lint, hair off of it and put it back in. So that just untwisted, just like 1/8 of a turn, not even. It has a little bit of a kind of a lock to it. So basically just give it a little twist, click, and then it just comes straight up. Okay, at this point you can access your basket, which again just comes straight up. Okay, I don't have anything in mind, but this is a great time to knock it off, out, I mean. And here's the cartridge filter, okay? So again, in the case of a new 2020 or 2021 Serenity, this is gonna look different. The filter's gonna look like two of these kind of merged into one. Again, there'll be another video, maybe even a picture in this one. Just pull your filter straight out. And I don't want all that dirty water to be dripping back in my hot tub, so I'm just gonna hold it out here, which is a good idea. And at this point would be when I would get out my garden hose, get out my, you see some debris in there, obviously from the tree, hair, lint, debris. Again, if it looks clean, it may look clean, but still, it's a good idea to rinse it out. These pleats are very fine, and they catch a lot of fine lint. We're gonna put that filter back in. It's gonna kind of click back down, or just kind of push down. There's nothing holding it down other than a little bit of a ridge, just like this, underneath the filter. And this filter basket is going to go right on top. This is going to go into the hole of the filter, and when it's down properly, okay, this ledge has to be flush with the inside of this. Okay, just like this, it's flush. Okay, if it's not flush, it won't, the next part won't go down properly. Okay, so it should just stay like that. And for the record, that filter part number is a C4950. Also a C4326. Actually, that one there's a 4326, but those are two part numbers for the filter. Again, probably not relevant. Just go to the store and buy the right one. Okay, so now that we got this guy down, it's nice and flush. It's important to have it flush. Grab the next piece here. And you can see on the bottom, there is the little nubby thing there, and a flat edge lines up with this kind of indent. There's 4 of them. And and those line up with these sort of indents on the filter. Line them up, okay, push down, and then rotating it clockwise. Give it a little twist. There we go. Yes. Locks in place and just kind of floats like that. Okay, it shouldn't float up and out, it should be just like that. Okay, so now that we've got our filter back into place properly, we just want to turn the hot tub back on. So we do that by pressing the same button that we use to get the hot tub into the standby or off mode. And we're going to have to press that button 2 times. Okay, the first time we press it, it says DRN, and the second time we press it, it says on. Don't worry about the DRN, just press it again so it goes to on. That functionality isn't something that we use in the Hydropool hot tub, okay? We have our own independent drains that are much better. So now that the hot tub's running, that's it basically as far as accessing the filter compartment. So let me show you some of the valves. I'm gonna illustrate this by turning on all the pumps. So again, in the case of the FFP, you're gonna have your therapy seats on. You see some of them have bubbles and some of them don't, and that's because of these valves here. Okay, so you're gonna locate these valves on your hot tub, and these 4 dots represent air bubbles, okay? And if you turn the valve away from the arrow, so this direction, it's off, and towards the arrow, it's on. Okay, so now you get a lot more pressure. So again, off, on. You're gonna have several of these valves. Okay, here's another one for this chair. Okay, so again, off or on. It's very important if you're operating your air valves to remember why you have air. It's for therapy. Okay, air is great at turning the water very turbid, sorry, not turbid, but very aerated, I guess, very bubbly, lots of action. But this is also causing a lot more heat to be escaping right now. So consider that when you're not using it to turn them off. We don't want to create more air pressure underneath the cover, which is going to end up pushing the cover off, creating icicles outside of the hot tub. So make sure to turn the air off when you're getting out. But as long as you're in the hot tub and you want it, then of course turn it on. But this is a good example of having it off. Obviously there's no more air, lots of water pressure. Oh wow, okay, here we got some more air on over here. So I've got 2 more of these air valves. Again, you're gonna have several, probably between 2 and 4. I've got 4. But this valve here on an FFP operates the swim jets. So without actually turning off the pump, I can turn off the air, which creates a much weaker jet stream. So if you're trying to just do a casual swim, definitely turn off the air. Or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more in the FFP, you can definitely turn that valve open and the jet stream gets a lot stronger. This is pretty much very decent front crawl pace for me. Breaststroke, something like that. I have to swim pretty. Breaststroke right now would be pretty hard. This is more of a breaststroke term. This is more of a breaststroke speed for me. This other valve here is going to operate the air for this end of the FFP. Okay, so I rotated that valve counterclockwise, and now both of the chairs are operating with the air. And by turning off the air, again, when I'm not using the hot tub, swim spa, this is how I recommend to have your jets configured, okay? Also waterfalls off. That's operated by this valve here, okay? So if you have a waterfall feature in any 2020, 2021 Serenities are gonna have at least 2 to 4 waterfalls on them. In the case of the FFP, there's 4. They may or may not look exactly like this one. The newer ones on the 2020 and 2021 Serenities will actually be coming out where the filter is. They'll be on either side of the filter typically. One here, one here. Okay. In the case of the FFP or any Serenity from 2019 and before, in all cases, all the waterfalls operate with this valve, even on the self-clean system. So essentially that valve is indicated by 4 water drops, okay? And you basically turn that valve and your waterfalls will turn on. The more you open it, the further they go. So mine go pretty far. Here's the tether. It's quite simple. It lifts up, let go. It has a spring. And you can use that for a couple of reasons. There's 2 of them in most swim spas. The other one will be located at the seat end, where you could tether, for example, a strap to your harness, and you could swim with it against without resistance from the jets. If you didn't want to have the jets on, for example, if you have one of the more one of the crazier swimmers out there, the aqua trainers, for example, have much higher capacity for boogie boarding. Is a great example, and you could tether your boogie board to this grommet here and turn the jets on high and have fun. So the tether's a great way to make use of a lot of the fitness kit as well as a lot of the fun aspects of the swim spa as well. Okay, let's access our menu. To do this, we hold down the light button for 5 seconds. When you get there, the hours will start blinking. 12 in this case is what time it is, 12:58. We press and hold the temperature button to go up or down to change that. Let's go back to 12. And when we're happy, we press the light button to proceed, and that makes the minutes blink, which we can then change. Okay, just like your alarm clock. All right, light button again. FS3 p.m. Filter start time in my hot tub is 3 p.m. You can press and hold and change this to whatever hour you want. Here we can also press the light button to proceed. I want 3 p.m. FD1. Filter duration is 1 hour. Okay, so at 3 p.m. it's coming on for 1 hour. Okay, again, we can change that if you need more. 1 hour is a little bit low, but my hot tub's pretty clean right now. But if you have a really dirty hot tub, you probably want to turn that right up to, at least 6 to 8. A lot of people operate with 4. I'm gonna go back to 1 because again, my hot tub looks pretty good. Press the light button. FF4. So at 3 p.m. it's coming on 4 times for an hour. That's 4 hours a day. Okay, again, if I do the math, if I want to make it longer, shorter, frequency of 1 means it'll come on for 1 hour a day, 4 hours a day because I'm having it come on 4 times. That's split up every 6 hours. It's coming on for an hour. So that's what FF means, filter frequency, and that's basically just taking up a 24-hour day and dividing it by, dividing it by 1 or 12 hours, 3 or 4 times a day, and it's going to come on for that duration of 1 hour, which I have set mine for. Okay, if you had it set for 4, filter duration 4, and you have filter frequency 4, that's 16 hours a day, so just keep that in mind. Press the light button again, and we don't want to change EP0 to anything. The only option is 1. We're going to keep that 0 because this is actually telling you economy mode. I don't want to put my hot tub in economy mode, but if I did, I would change it to 1. Press the light button again. I've got ES12 p.m. At 12 p.m. my hot tub is in economy mode, and I'm telling it to do its filtration cycle at 12 p.m. Press the light button again. The duration of that economy mode is 6 hours. Okay, so at 12 p.m. it's coming on for 6 hours in economy mode. Okay, press the light button again, and I can change my Fahrenheit to Celsius. Definitely if you're European, or for some people in Canada. Okay, and pressing the loom button again gets you back to the beginning. So if you're curious about what the economy mode does, basically it only allows the hot tub to heat when the jets are on, so during a filter cycle. Otherwise, when the jets turn off and it's not filtering, the hot tub won't allow it to heat. And the only way that this really differs in normal mode is that when the hot tub gets too cold, it drops 2 degrees below what it's set for, roughly. The hot tub would need to turn the pump on to turn the heat, to get the heater to turn on as well. It needs that flow of water to heat the water up. So again, in economy mode, it's basically just waiting to heat the water up, waiting for a filter cycle to turn on. So yeah, just keep that in mind with the economy mode. It's not exactly something you should be using every day. Only when you're going away on vacation, for example, going to the cottage for the weekend, you want to have your hot tub operating at the most efficient times. Turn it into economy mode, but again, don't do it daily. Don't go to work, turn into economy mode in the morning and get back when you turn it back to filter mode when you get back home. It's just not going to be efficient. A little bit of a pro tip. This is a great indicator right now that my filter is pretty obstruction free. The water is on low speed, the pump's on low speed, and the water's curling nicely over the edge of my filter. If you ever notice that your filter is bobbing up, for example, not going below the filter when the jets are on, there's a good chance that your filter is obstructed. It needs to be cleaned, okay? Because what's happening now is the water is being bypassed and being sucked in from one of these 4 openings here. Okay, the filter is actually obstructing the flow. It's really important to discuss things like oily, foamy water, things like that. You can definitely use products to get rid of oils in the water temporarily, like defoamers. But just remember that the filter is the only thing in your hot tub that is actually capable of removing those oils, and it has a capacity, just like a garbage can has a capacity. Eventually the filter gets full and it overflows. When that happens, all the water bypasses around the filter, okay, and it doesn't get filtered at that point, so your hot tub starts to get a lot more oily than normal. The cleaner the filter, the better. Bottom line, take your filter out regularly, every 5, 10, 20 dirty sorry, not even 20, so every 5 to 10 dirty people that jump in your hot tub, 20 clean people. That filter probably needs a little bit of a rinse, probably a really good rinse. Anything more than that, it's not something that you can gauge weekly or monthly. It is based on usage. So the dirtier your hot tub is, the more your filter's working, the more frequently you'll have to clean it. Yeah, that's it. So enjoy your swim spa, your new hot tub. Thank you very much for purchasing from the Spa Shoppe. It means a lot to us, our families, and definitely if you have any requests for future videos, put them in the comments below. Speaking of that, turn off my air controls here. There will be links in the description for our videos on water chemistry and how to access your self-clean hot tubs filtration compartment. Okay, that's a little bit different, so definitely watch that video if you have a self-clean Hydropool. And yeah, check the description below. If you have the newest 2021 Serenities, we're going to be doing a video specifically about that filter compartment as well, so stay tuned for that. Definitely email, call the store. You can definitely reach us through those are the best ways, emailing or calling the store. I'm going to enjoy my hot tub now, okay? So yeah, let's crank her up. See you again in another video.